Hi, welcome back. My name is Cole.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is CTRL-AC.
CTRL-AC is the podcast where we talk about unlimited interactivity and copyright law. Look, today we have an announcement. This podcast is now Control-X.
Yep.
We're actually joining the
Twitter
X company to create a AI-driven space of unlimited interactivity.
Right. So if you didn't hear...
we've consistently... Control-AC is the podcast where we talk about Elon Musk and Twitter consistently every week. And it's not because we want to. It's that every week we open up Twitter and our news sites and there's news about Twitter.
And also because we want to.
It's just that man cannot stay out of the news. He's really good at it. There's a reason Tesla doesn't need a marketing budget.
Right.
The guy's really good at self-promoting things.
I wonder if, really random and off topic, but I wonder if he will influence WorldCoin at all.
I'm sure he will.
We are not going to get into that today.
That's going to be run through X, I guarantee you.
Okay, so obviously if you didn't know, Twitter is now X.
Twitter has been rebranded to X.
So
that's the headline.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack. I think we'll start with the timeline and sort of break down each event in the timeline. So July 22nd, Elon posts a GIF of X, like the logo. And he tweets, "And soon we shall bid adieu to the Twitter brand and gradually all the birds." And everyone's like, what? So in a Twitter space, he was asked, are you really changing the Twitter logo tomorrow? And Elon, while he was playing Diablo 4, I guess, the game, said yes. So he's just on the game, impulsively, why not? Let's change the logo. So Elon says it's going to be replaced with the logo. He said that they're going to have a temporary one that same day. And sure enough, later that day, the Twitter logo changes to an X.
Elon's actually owned the domain x.com for a while.
Yeah, he's owned x.com for a while. X.com now redirects to twitter.com.
Right.
So I assume twitter.com is just going to be changed to x.com.
Like it won't be a URL
later.
Anymore.
Like it'll take a while for them to do it. But they're probably going to keep the Twitter domain around for a little bit. Imagine like Meta buys twitter.com.
I actually saw that. I was like, yeah.
So that afternoon at 3:33, July 23rd, Linda Yaccarino, CEO of Twitter, who really has like no say in Twitter, it seems. Like she's really quiet on Twitter.
Yeah.
And she's like a figurehead. And Elon's like the bigger figurehead and the supreme leader.
She's the legal figurehead.
Yeah. She's like the prime minister and Elon's the king. So she says, "It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or in a business that you get a second chance to make another big impression. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now X will go further, transforming the global town square." She then says, "X is the future state of unlimited interactivity, centered in audio, video, messaging, payments/banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities."
Sounds like Instagram.
Powered by AI. There's her
Of
former...
course.
She worked as a marketing department head, I believe. She worked in marketing before Twitter.
So she knows what she's doing.
That's where the phrase "powered by AI" comes from, because that's
right.
it just sounds like an ad. Powered by AI, X will connect us all in ways we're just beginning to imagine. There is so much to unpack in that one tweet. So let's finish out the Twitter timeline, then we'll go back to X. Wolf Financial says, "What will be the new name for a tweet once Twitter changes the name to X?" Elon then responds and says, "an X." So we have that on July 23rd. Elon then tweets out the letter X on July 23rd. July 24th at night, the X logo is projected onto the Twitter headquarters building. That morning, apparently, they changed the Twitter sign on the actual physical building, and they got a bunch of equipment out to take down the Twitter sign. Apparently, Elon didn't actually have a permit for the equipment, so the police came and shut down everything on the street. Just hilarious. July 25th, he posted another slightly different X logo with a bunch of TikTok colors around it. Like it's flashing in pink and blue, like the TikTok colors around the X that he kind of stole from Unicode. So then what do you do with your domain? So you have @Twitter for the Twitter official page. There's an account that was created in 2007 that had the handle @X. And Elon just kind of yoinked that handle for the official Twitter account, and that was the end of it. So the X account, meaning like the 2007 guy, tweeted "All's well that ends well."
Oh,
And that was kind of it.
that's so sad.
Yeah, his handle is gone. It's now X and then a bunch of numbers. He then said in a interview that Elon offered him for the X handle. How much money do you think he was offered?
Is it a lot or is it like a ridiculously low amount?
It's not a lot.
I'm gonna guess 2,500.
For the Twitter for the @X handle. So he was offered Twitter merch
Oh, that's right.
and a chance to meet with the Twitter management. Which is crazy because he could have asked for a lot of money if this were not Elon's platform, but it is, and Twitter makes the terms and conditions, and Twitter can take your handle if they want your handle. Because they just can. July 28th, the Twitter app icon for iOS officially auto-updated for everyone to the black X. Apple requires the name of your app to be more than 2 characters, so they couldn't actually rename it on the App Store to X. They had to keep it as Twitter until they worked out a custom deal with Apple to name it X.
X and then a space.
Yes. If you go to x.com, twitter.com, you see tweet everywhere. Like there's still Twitter lingo everywhere.
I actually haven't seen it.
It's in messages a lot. But now if you retweet something, it says reposted. So retweets are now reposted. Official X employees have a little X logo by their name. They changed their little like slogan thing on the App Store to blaze your glory instead of like see what's happening around you or whatever it was before. And now we're here. Obviously, the worst part about this whole thing is that Twitter is gone.
Right.
The name recognition that comes with Twitter, the weight that the Twitter name held, it's all gone. So we've talked about before, politicians use Twitter to break news. In the news world, a tweet is like, that's like a statement. If you tweet something, it's a statement from a real person on their tweet. Like it's legit. Joe Biden tweeted, like that means it's official. If you just say posted, it's so vague now. Twitter has the same lingo that every other social network has.
Everything.
Threads has the same thing, posts and reposts. Or threads and reposts. But all that. Quote tweets are gone. All these recognizable terms are gone. And that, I don't see how it wouldn't hurt them. The lingo for this is the same. Someone pointed out on X, I guess, on X that like there are old packages for random products that have the old Twitter logo on them. Like websites that have the old Twitter logo and like the old Instagram logo and stuff. So it's going to be years before everyone has switched over to the new X. I don't know why you would buy a company with that much name recognition and then throw it all away.
And also, it was like kind of a dying thing too.
What was?
Twitter. Like, it wasn't as popular as it was 10 years ago when it came out. Like, when it came out, it like shook the internet.
I mean, Elon has the weirdest measurement of engagement. He uses like seconds per user. So Elon will tell you that the seconds per user spent on the app are the highest they've ever been. How that's measured, I have no idea. And you can't compare that to anyone else because
Right.
no one else uses seconds per user. So who knows?
Yeah.
But Twitter is Twitter. It's established.
Right.
Everyone knows it. It's legitimate. X is not. And it's a pretty vague thing, too. There's a band called X Japan. So the Twitter account in Japan now cannot do X Japan smoothly. If they do, then the band's going to come after them, but they're still okay because they're a different kind of X Japan with copyright because one's a band, one's a social network. The whole thing is messy. And it's going to take years for this to actually seamlessly get implemented into everything.
Yeah.
People are going to call it Twitter for the next couple of years.
I'm never calling it X.
No one's calling it X. So we need to talk about X, not the platform, but X, what did she say? Unlimited interactivity. So basically, this is everything. Elon Musk wants every single interaction you have to be run through the same app. So your social media, your photo sharing, your financial work, like your bank, your money, your social media, your calls, your texts, it's all run through one app. That's scary to a lot of people.
Especially because that's where we get into like the vagueness of what is a monopoly.
Exactly. In
Like,
China, they have WeChat.
which is what
It's this.
he wants X to be.
The American government is very different from China's.
Very.
But still, having everything in one place is not going to fly in the United States. Didn't the FTC just try and stop Microsoft from acquiring Activision? If that was almost not allowed, how is X going to be able to now run everything through this one place? That's what Meta tried to do with Facebook. If you open the Facebook app, you have TV and messages and posting and an entire marketplace. You had Mixer integrated. They tried to do that, and they got in trouble for it, for buying Instagram and for trying to acquire all these things. So we don't know how the FTC is going to like this. We don't know the privacy behind this. I don't know if I want my entire life run through Elon Musk's app.
Which is going to have to be government controlled.
Who knows?
Like, it will have
Nobody
to be.
knows yet. It's still so vague. They just keep saying, and they always mention finances. They always say financial hub. So we don't know how...
WorldCoin.
WorldCoin. I guess we need to do an episode on WorldCoin eventually. But Elon didn't he co-found PayPal?
Think so?
Or was a big part in PayPal?
I think so.
So he has contacts there. So if PayPal and X were to merge, that'd be easy. But like, he's starting this giant monopolistic everything app
From Twitter.
From Twitter,
Which doesn't,
of
like,
all places.
I would understand it if he turned something like Instagram into something like that.
Right.
Because it's already got a marketplace built in. It's already
Twitter.
got payment. It's already got DMs. It's got like stories, posts, everything.
It's
but
just
Twitter
it's hard to see Twitter as
anything but a news app.
right.
Or like, yeah.
I don't know how you'd convince people to move their banking to Twitter. I just think this is so far off. But look, having everything in one app, it sounds appealing. There are a ton of concerns that come with it. We'll see. This is something that we'll be tracking for years.
X is literally just going to turn into another operating system in an operating system.
Elon has said he wants to create a phone. Who knows?
Did
XOS.
you see his Tesla phone he put on Twitter? He
Was
said
that recent?
Oh wait, no, I think it was Elon parody, but it was like,
Oh.
how many of you would buy this?
No, he actually did.
Was it him?
That was Elon. He said, how many of you would buy like a Tesla phone if he made one? So you got to know if Elon made a phone, you could just tweet from like a tweet box widget on the home screen. It'd be like the easiest thing.
Yeah.
But we already know startup like free speech phone companies don't work because we had the Freedom phone, which was a scam. Who knows? We'll be tracking this for years. Maybe X is the future.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's
Maybe
just,
not. Hopefully not.
hopefully, I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's rep through this really quick. So the San Francisco Twitter headquarters now has a gigantic X on the top.
I saw somebody post
is
it.
really bright.
Is that the one that they like, the metal one that's like...
They got in trouble for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a giant light. So anyone who lives in the general vicinity gets their entire bedroom flooded with white light from this giant X logo.
I mean, who's living in San Francisco comfortably anyways, but...
And all the homeless people on the street are getting blinded by it. Elon said that Twitter will default to dark mode and only have that as an option because he believes it to be superior.
He doesn't believe, he knows it's superior.
That's what he said. This is why we cannot have the guy running our entire country's banking system.
He's so subjective.
He's so impulsive. It's a scary person to have at the wheel of all this. He's a fantastic CEO. Very interesting guy. Great marketer.
But...
And then finally, if you want to secretly have your Twitter Blue subscribers, but you don't want to advertise that you support anything Elon does, which is a surprising amount of people, you can now hide your verified checkmark. So after all of the drama behind verification, you can now pay for the service and hide the verification.
Right, which makes sense.
That's it. Thank goodness we're done. All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get to actually interesting stuff.
And not just...
Not Elon.
Not This Week in Elon.
Thank goodness. Control-AC is sponsored by The Complete Backyard. The Complete Backyard is a custom outdoor design and living space company specializing in any outdoor living space you can imagine. Whether it's a pool, cabana, pergola, outdoor kitchen, or whatever outdoor living space your heart desires, The Complete Backyard has got you covered. For a consultation, you can go to thecompletebackyard.com.
Hi, welcome back from the break. So, as you all know, I am unofficially part of Z Flip Gang.
There was an event.
I don't own one.
There's
but
another one, new one for
there's a
you to
new
buy,
one.
or at least think about buying.
Thank you, Samsung. So, if you didn't listen to it, Andrew did a review on the Razer Plus, and it's pretty awesome. You should go listen to it.
And I said at the end, the Z Flip 5 was coming, and if that phone had a cover screen, there would be no reason to buy the Motorola Razer Plus.
Right, because the Z Flip 5 has better specs, better screen.
Pretty much the same screen, but everything else, it's Samsung.
Lower
They've done it
refresh
longer.
rate, though.
And it's here, and
It's
it has
here.
a cover screen.
And we love it.
So I
Z
hope
Flip
you
Gang-
didn't buy the Razer Plus.
Yeah. How much does this cost? Do we know?
Same price. It is $9.99. Same price as the Razer Plus. The outer screen is the entire focus of the whole thing. It gets a spec bump. All the other hardware stuff is the same.
It's all the same. It's just the screen.
Take a look at the front
Actually,
screen.
no, it got the Snapdragon Snapdragon
Yeah, there's
8
a
Gen 2.
8 Gen
right?
2. So there is a spec bump, but all the other hardware outside stuff is the same, except for the screen.
And the hinge.
Hinge is new,
Yeah, hinge is new.
more durable.
Exactly.
We'll see. Jerry rig everything will
Yeah.
dump sand on it. If you take a look at the cover screen, it looks a lot less flashy than Motorola's. It's not wrapped around the camera lens like they had. It's just a normal looking screen. I think functionally it's better than I have not used it.
I actually heard that it's worse because the Motorola made it to where you can basically just enable apps, but you have to get a third-party app.
Oh,
You
there's
have
an
to
API for
you
this?
have to sideload a third-party app to be able to use any app. I think Alex Kranz talked about it on the Vergecast, I want to say.
So you can't just use any app on the front cover screen.
You have to sideload it's something...
Or developers have to make a version of their app for the Z Flip front screen,
which nobody's done.
which Instagram will do before they make an iPad app. But the front screen looks fine. It looks functional. The animations are ridiculously smooth.
Thank you, Samsung.
Smoother than the Razr Plus. Samsung kind of saved the entire phone with the front screen, because if it didn't have it, they'd be in big trouble. It does, and they're fine. So if you're gonna buy a flip phone, buy this. That's pretty much the end of the story.
Z Fold 5, it's literally the same thing. New hinge. That's the only thing that changed. It's the same price.
This is concerning. Samsung has gotten so far ahead with their foldables that now they are not innovating anymore.
Right. It's iterative.
And the problem with that is you have these random companies like Motorola who just pop up with this stellar phone now with a cover display that's like spec-wise better than Samsung's. And Samsung has to make sure that they counter that with, a same-ish cover display so that they don't fall behind. But they've kind of refined the design at this point. And I guess once you have a cover display, there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
Innovation-wise. But
they could have at least try to drop the price or do something for this, but it's literally just an iterative phone.
Yeah.
Like if you have the 4, there is or the 3, there's no reason to upgrade.
I think the biggest problem still with the Z Flip 5 is it's the same price as the S23.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get the Z Flip down to like $799,
yeah,
$800. So when you walk into an AT&T store, that's the one that they throw at you. Then they're good.
Right.
But they got to innovate.
Yeah. Stop doing this.
Competition drives innovation. Motorola helped.
Don't be like Apple for the past 3 years.
They've switched. Now Apple's the one constantly pushing their hardware, and Samsung's just not doing anything. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. You're getting better, Apple. We're proud of you. Okay.
Your MacBooks can't cook anymore.
Big sad. I mean, you just turn the fan off and then run Minecraft with shaders, and it will get hot. I definitely don't speak from experience on that one.
But is it Intel MacBook hot?
When there's no... Yes.
I wish we really should have cooked food on your 2012 MacBook Pro.
We should have tried.
Like dropped an ice cube on it at least, just to see how fast it would melt.
In a cup, because
Crack
we don't
an egg on it. Yeah.
We're going to speed through these next two things. Tab 9.
Look.
It's big.
Samsung has new tablets. If you're doing work on a tablet, the iPad Pro is the only tablet you should consider, simply because of the app support.
Right.
All apps support iPad Pro stuff and Apple Pencil. It's a really fabulous thing to do work on.
Mm-hmm. But media consumption.
This Tab 9 is is it 14
Yacht.
inch?
It's massive.
The thing is gigantic. So it's a 14.6 inch tablet, which is bigger than your laptop screen. 14.6 inches. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 120 hertz OLED display, and it's ridiculously thin.
Yeah.
So if you're just doing media consumption, like just holding this gigantic... I remember when the 12.9 inch iPad Pro came out, and the first time I held that thing...
That's big.
It was crazy.
2 more inches.
In a screen is crazy. So if you're doing content consumption, then maybe how much is this? The Tab 9 Ultra? $1,200. You can spec it up to a terabyte of storage and 16 gigs of RAM for $1,600.
Call of Duty,
there are better
Warzone Mobile is about to go crazy on that thing.
Yeah.
Last thing for Samsung, Galaxy Watch 6. It's got the rotating bezels.
Rotating bezel is back in the classic model. I encourage you to walk into a Best Buy and just take a look at the watch faces.
They're weird.
Open the article for a second.
I did. They're weird.
They have a face one with this morphing, goofy looking, like heart unicorn. They're creepy. They're really creepy watch faces.
Looks like something out of like Poppy's Playtime.
It's weird.
They're so weird.
That's not gonna. That's a deterrent.
Sleep.
Weird marketing move, but they have creepy watch faces.
Yeah.
That was kind of Galaxy Unpacked. Not a lot.
Yeah, not really. Well, kind of, but
very minor iterations on stuff. We may be getting the Z Flip 5 as a review unit. If we do, we'll try that out. We'll see if it's actually better than the Razr Plus.
And I'll let you know if I'm going to switch. Speaking of switching things up, Tesla recall.
So you know when you're driving, like on the road, and you're going down the highway
Mm-hmm.
and your steering wheel freezes.
Yeah, it just stops working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the time.
Doesn't that stink? Doesn't that ruin your day when you can't turn your car?
That's the worst.
There's a recall for Model 3 and Model Y because the steering wheels would freeze. This affects 280,000 Teslas over reports of loss of steering control.
So the only thing Tesla is proving time after time is that software should not control your car.
Their quality control is miserably bad. Like the paint having scuffs in it or a panel gap.
That's one thing.
We've come to accept that.
But
my $70,000 car's steering wheel should not be freezing up on the highway.
my 16-year-old Honda Civic doesn't do that.
Yeah, your steering wheel's fine.
It's great. It's a little off
Because when you turn the steering wheel, there isn't an entire like gaming computer in your computer or in your car. They are computers at this point. There isn't an entire computer running your car.
Because my power steering isn't software.
Yeah, you can't get a steering update.
No, because the way the steering wheel on the Tesla works is it's a motor that directly translates to the steering column, right? It's not.
I believe so.
Like the wheel doesn't go to the column.
It may actually, because when you're parked and you're playing the beach buggy game and you turn the wheel to play your game, your actual wheels turn. So you're just like grinding your wheel rubber when you're playing your Tesla parked game. The problems that Tesla owners face are the weirdest problems.
Like
My
sometimes
car steering wheel freezes.
Yeah.
My door panels don't align.
Right. Like my bumper's falling off, but that's because it's an old Honda. Not a brand new $80,000 electric vehicle by one of the biggest companies in the US.
Doug DeMuro reviewed the $120,000 Model S Plaid. And he was just like, yeah, the door panel is squeaky and the seats kind of move weird and my trunk doesn't close. It was all these like horrible quality control things that are fine on a Chevy Bolt.
Or like a 2003 Mustang.
Right. But my $1,500 car payment shouldn't be getting me this many recalls.
Right.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
But Tesla's continuing to prove us wrong. Okay.
We still want the Cybertruck review unit, though.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Elon. We love you, and we think X is great. Send us the Cybertruck.
Speaking of, I just want to mention one thing about the Cybertruck. Alex Kranz mentioned this on an episode. She said that she wants to see the Cybertruck like
in our parking lot
herding cattle.
Oh my
like
gosh.
On a ranch, and she said the light is gonna reflect off the thing and start a grass fire because the whole thing's like stainless steel. I can't wait for that thing to be like
funny.
Baja jumping desert
lift
can't
kits,
wait.
big ol' like
I can't
40s
wait.
on it.
We gotta slam the Cybertruck.
Oh my gosh.
Make a street
Stance
like
it.
JDM Cybertruck. It's disgusting.
Okay, hold on. But if you think about it, that would actually be kind of sick.
I'm not.
Think about it for a second. Oh, it's slammed, stanced.
That reminds me of the Cars short thing with Mater when he goes to Tokyo and slams it. And it's the big metal truck.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about a block of stainless steel just flying down the highway.
Speaking of stainless steel.
Speaking of stainless steel.
Vision Pro, but dev kits.
Apple Vision Pro is out for developers.
Yep.
For developers only.
We're a developer, actually. We identify as developer.
Absolutely. We'll make an app. We'll whip up a Xcode app.
CTRL-AC.x.
Send us a Vision Pro. So the devs have rules that they have to follow for using the Vision Pro. They must use it in a secure, private location only by themselves or by direct authorized employees. And it says that the doors must be locked when they're using this.
What?
It's crazy how locked down these rules are. I don't know if any developers are actually going to be like, oh, I can't use it. The door's not locked. They said if the developer isn't actively using the kit, they have to store it in its designated carrying case completely turned off. And the case itself must be stored and secured somewhere with a lock, like a chest or a closet.
That's hilarious.
Finally, in the event you need to leave your office, i.e. the designated address to which the kit was shipped, you are not allowed to take it with you under any circumstances. If you do have to leave for more than a few days, you need to consult with your company's point of contact in Apple and discuss how the kit will be safeguarded while you're gone. If you cannot do that, you have to return the dev kit. This is like a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
The amount of security going into this is crazy.
Why can't we have like anything else that's this secure?
Leak an iPhone, leave it at a bar, the iPhone 4, give it to a Gizmodo reporter, no problem.
Like they can't even see it.
You know that someone is going to get this dev kit. And
Linus is going to get it.
But
like I guarantee you, Linus is gonna. He got the Series X dev kit illegitimately.
There's no way they're sending this to Linus.
No, he'll get it.
Oh, like someone's gonna send it to him.
Same what they did with the Series X dev kit.
The Vision Pro will appear on YouTube in the coming weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone is gonna post a video from a brand new Google account, and we'll get to see this thing. Speaking of Tim in the Apple earnings call, spoiler alert: they made a lot of money. All the sales are down. iPad sales, Mac sales, iPhone sales, they're all down like 2%. They only made like $22 billion from
is that
iPhone
all?
sales. I know. They're struggling.
That's ridiculous.
Hard times at Apple.
I paid $20 for gas today.
On the earnings call, Tim Cook says, quote, "I'm using Apple Vision Pro daily." So the man likes his Vision Pro. This is the same guy who uses an Apple Watch Ultra to sit down in the office and work on Apple stuff. I don't know. This guy takes his earnings call on his Vision Pro, maybe. Who knows? And
speaking of
monopoly
no, it's not a monopoly. Speaking of a semi-large company spending money, Corsair, they bought Drop. If you don't know, Drop is a audiophile and keyboard enthusiast website. They sell lots of high-end audio equipment and parts and pieces to build keyboards.
The highly esteemed Holy Panda Switch
exactly
is created by the masterminds at Drop.
Yeah, Corsair bought it. So this can mean two things. One, Corsair is about to wreck his entire company and sell cheap ABS plastic keyboards. Or Corsair's keyboards are about to get really good, which is the ideal outcome of this.
I think Corsair keyboards are actually going to be worth your money. If they use all of the hot swappable PCBs and switches that Drop has.
Keycaps of quality that
they're
because
chilling.
Drop doesn't actually make very many products.
Yeah, they're like a vendor.
Yeah, it's a storefront basically.
If you go to Best Buy and you start typing on a Corsair keyboard, on most keyboards at Best Buy, they're very subpar.
And they're missing like 14 keycaps.
They're just bad.
But this is
all mechanical keyboards are not created equal.
No,
that's an important thing.
Me and Andrew have very nice mechanical keyboards that I built,
custom built to our own needs and preferences.
Right, I like the tactile. We're gonna have a whole deep dive episode on mechanical keyboards some pretty soon, actually, probably. But Andrew likes a light tactile
for
typing,
quick
experience. I like a heavy tactile semi-linear. So my Holy Pandas that I have, stupid expensive, not worth the money, but they feel really nice if you can comfortably have them. Especially with them tuned specifically to how you like them. You can change the springs in them, you can change the stems, but they're really good quality and they're hot swappable 5 pins or 3 pins, so they can go in any keyboard really. But they're a good feel. Sorry, we're not gonna.
And if Corsair gets all this, you may be able to go to Best Buy and pick up a solid mechanical hot swappable keyboard.
Maybe they'll have a keyboard an actually good keyboard division working with Drop.
Or maybe it's just to get rid of competition.
Or that.
Who knows?
But because
like all of the stories from today, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We won't have an episode next week.
Andrew's leaving this time.
My turn to be out of town. Maybe we'll be sending money to each other through X. Maybe X will be back to Twitter. Who knows? It's minute by minute.
Literally. But if you have any questions, comments, or would like to pay us through the new the new United States version of WeChat
with unlimited interactivity, you can
powered by AI.
Oh.
You can X at us
on X.
on X. I'm at Cole WW
And I'm at Utterly Drew.
and we'll see you guys
in 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Bye,
guys.
y'all.